My name is Matias Hernandez, and I'm in charge of user support for Mattermost. We conduct basic research across the whole board of natural sciences and also social sciences, so biology and high particle physics. We also conduct international law, for example. It's probably one of the most famous research organizations in Germany because we're also, as an organization, it's also probably the German organization with the highest number of Nobel Prizes. Many public institutions had to close down, and so everyone had to work remotely. So this was a huge change for everyone, of course. Well, that created a new problem, right? How do we stay in contact remotely? How can we keep track of conversations? By far, the number one requirement for choosing a messaging platform was that it was first of all that it was compliant or compatible with very pretty strict privacy laws here in Germany and in Europe, I would say. And tied to that is the open source nature. We tend to favor, whenever possible, solutions that are open source. Not only because of transparency, but also simply that it allows also customizations, and that there's also a vibrant community that is behind this open source community that is helping. It was also very important that we would be able to install Mattermost in our own servers, and this is an issue with German privacy laws. If our researchers were going to upload documents, for example, which they do occasionally, documents that can be sensitive, for example, that these documents are stored in servers here in Europe, at least. Custom installation was really another a big selling point because it allows us to have more control of where our data is stored. I mean, in addition to complying with regulations, there's just an aspect of trust. It's a little bit cultural because I'm not German myself, but Germans are generally very focused on privacy issues. They just want to be a little bit extra sure that their data is safe. Because if you're using commercial solutions, well, the data goes to servers which are not in control by us. There's a trust issue there, so we trust that the data is not going to be retained in some way or copied or whatever. There's also an aspect of security. I'm guessing something like Slack. I'm guessing that that could be a nice target for hackers. So I think it is a matter of sensitivity of the people towards those, safety and privacy and those kind of issues. We have now almost 5,000 users of Mattermost. For us, that is a very, very fast rate of adoption. Keep in mind that using Mattermost is completely an organization is completely voluntary, so it's optional. We don't have this top-down hierarchy of telling people, look, you have to use this. This is a tool that we provide to researchers, and they can decide among themselves whether they choose to adopt it or not. It definitely saves a lot of time, for sure. I mean, but it's time and frustration, which at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You're trying to find data and like what email. It's just more easy to track in a thread. You would just spend, let's say, 30% more time. You'll save in terms of working out where things are, and that time can then be allocated to actually writing or doing something that is actually advancing the project or the document you're trying to prepare.